What happens when a superstar who once ruled the entertainment world with unstoppable energy and flair approaches 80 years old? Cher is a name that has echoed through music and Hollywood for more than half a century. Her voice, style, and bold reinventions have shaped pop culture like few others. But beneath the glitz and glamour, the story of Cher's life today isn't quite what many imagine. Fans remember her as the fearless goddess of pop, a figure who defied age and trends, dazzling audiences with her powerful voice and stunning presence. But as she nears her 80s, whispers about a more complicated, quieter reality are emerging. It's a life that seems far from the bright lights and roaring applause. There's a sadness behind the smile that few see, and it raises a tough question. How do you cope when the spotlight dims, but the challenges don't? This isn't just a story of a fading star. It's about the harsh truths of fame, aging, and the cost of living life in public view. Cher's story now blends triumph with struggle, and it forces us to rethink what we expect from our idols as they grow older. Her career was the stuff of legends, a dazzling rise from a young girl in California to an international superstar who shattered records and expectations. But today, even as she continues to work and inspire, the reality of her life is much more complex. Behind the glimmering costumes and chart-topping hits lies a story of resilience, loss, and the quiet battles that come with time. This video isn't here to tear down an icon or dwell on sadness for its own sake. It's about revealing the lesser-known chapters of Cher's journey, those moments that show her humanity beyond the spotlight. It's about understanding the emotional toll, the personal losses, and the loneliness that can shadow even the brightest stars. So, what exactly has changed for Cher? And why does her story today feel so different from the dazzling image we've all cherished? We're about to explore the highs and lows, the rumors and realities, the private struggles hidden behind one of the most public lives in entertainment history. If you thought you knew Cher, think again. The truth is far more compelling, and at times heartbreaking, than any headline or award could capture. As we dig deeper, you'll see a woman who's still fighting, still evolving, but whose life now carries a weight that's often overlooked. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will challenge how you see aging, fame, and the fragile human heart beneath the star power. The story of Cher at nearly 80 is one of contrasts. Between public glory and private sorrow, strength and vulnerability. And that contrast is what makes her story unforgettable. Cher's rise to superstardom is nothing short of legendary. She's not just a singer or an actress. She's an icon who transformed the entertainment industry over several decades. From her early days as part of the folk rock duo Sonny and Cher to her solo career, she became a symbol of reinvention and relentless ambition. But what exactly made Cher stand out from the rest? In the 1960s, Cher burst onto the scene with hits like I Got You Babe, instantly capturing audiences with her distinctive contralto voice and magnetic presence. But she didn't stop there. Throughout the 70s and 80s, Cher continuously reinvented herself, embracing different musical styles from disco to rock and pop, each time proving she could evolve without losing her essence. She was always ahead of trends, pushing boundaries in her music and fashion. Her acting career was just as impressive. Cher won an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in Moonstruck, 1987, a rare feat for a singer-turned-actress. She also starred in cult classics and blockbusters, carving out a respected place in Hollywood. The public adored her not only for her talent, but also for her fearless personality, bold, outspoken, and unapologetically herself. What's remarkable is how Cher defied age in an industry that often sidelines older women. In her 50s and 60s, she returned with chart-topping albums like Believe, which introduced the world to auto-tune and changed pop music forever. That song alone cemented her status as a trendsetter, proving she was far from done. Her nickname, the Goddess of Pop, wasn't just about her music. It was about her persona, larger-than-life costumes, dramatic performances, and aura of invincibility. She became a cultural touchstone, inspiring countless artists and fans alike. Cher was more than a performer. She was a statement of empowerment, individuality, and survival. But as spectacular as her public life was, it also came with intense pressures. Being constantly in the spotlight meant her image was scrutinized and every move analyzed. Fame brought success, but it also brought challenges that often go unspoken. The very same drive that fueled her career also pushed her into personal battles she had to face behind the scenes. Despite the glamour, Cher's journey was never just smooth sailing. She experienced heartbreak, controversy, and moments of doubt, like anyone else, but her resilience kept her moving forward. Her ability to bounce back from setbacks was a key part of her appeal, showing fans that strength comes in many forms. This chapter of Cher's life is a powerful reminder of how she earned her place in pop culture history, but it's also the backdrop for what comes next, the less visible struggles that contrast sharply with this dazzling peak. Because even legends face shadows, and Cher's story is no exception. What followed the glory years wasn't just a quiet retirement. It was a new, complicated chapter where fame alone couldn't protect her from the difficulties life threw her way. And that's where we go next, into the unexpected challenges behind the fame. Cher's life behind the scenes has never been as flawless as her dazzling stage presence suggested. While the world admired her for her unstoppable energy and timeless voice, the reality included battles few outsiders saw. Fame, with all its perks, also brought unexpected challenges, some physical, others deeply personal, that have shaped her story in ways most fans might never suspect. One of the first things Cher has been open about in recent years is her health struggles. Despite her vibrant image, she's dealt with serious medical issues that have sometimes forced her to slow down. These aren't just the usual aches and pains of aging. She's faced conditions that tested her resilience. For example, Cher has spoken candidly about autoimmune problems, which can cause chronic pain and fatigue, making even simple daily tasks exhausting. But her health problems go beyond the physical. The relentless pressure of staying relevant in an industry obsessed with youth and perfection has taken a mental toll as well. Constant public scrutiny means every appearance and every word can be judged and sometimes twisted. For someone like Cher, who spent decades in the spotlight, this pressure can create invisible wounds. It's a challenge that many stars wrestle with silently, afraid that showing vulnerability might harm their carefully crafted image. Adding to the burden is the reality that fame can isolate you. Cher's life, once surrounded by fans and cameras, has become quieter in many ways. The intense demands of her career left little room for normal relationships, and as time goes on, that loneliness can grow. Close friendships and family bonds often suffer when your life is under constant observation. The same spotlight that made her a goddess also made it difficult to find genuine connections. There have also been whispers and rumors about her personal life, some fueled by tabloids, others from more credible sources, that hint at deeper struggles. Whether it's dealing with the loss of loved ones, facing betrayals, or managing complex relationships, Cher's personal story is layered with challenges most don't see. She's someone who's had to fight battles that are far from the glamour we associate with her. And despite her incredible success and wealth, money and legal troubles have sometimes crept into the picture. Reports have surfaced about disputes and financial strains, showing that even the most legendary figures aren't immune to the ups and downs of life. These issues complicate the image of a carefree, invincible star, and remind us that no one is truly untouchable. All of this paints a picture of a woman who has faced far more than just the usual pressures of fame. Cher's challenges are a stark contrast to the glittering persona she's known for. It's a reminder that behind every legend is a human being coping with realities that the public often overlooks. But these struggles don't define her. They reveal her strength. Even as she confronts these difficulties, Cher continues to push forward, finding ways to stay relevant and true to herself. Yet, there's no denying that the life she leads now carries a weight that many never imagined. Next, we'll explore a side of Cher that's rarely talked about openly. The loneliness and isolation that often come hand in hand with fame, especially as stars age. Fame often looks glamorous from the outside, but it can be one of the loneliest experiences in the world, especially for someone like Cher, who has lived in the public eye for decades. Behind the glittering stage lights and red carpet appearances lies a quieter, more isolated reality that many stars never openly discuss. Cher's journey has been filled with extraordinary highs, but the price she's paid is a kind of loneliness most people never imagine. When your life is constantly scrutinized, it becomes difficult to build and maintain genuine connections. Trust becomes rare, and friendships can feel fragile, often tangled with the complexities of fame. As Cher nears 80, this isolation has reportedly grown more pronounced. The friends and loved ones who once surrounded her have changed. Some have passed away, others drifted apart, and the demanding nature of her career often meant sacrificing deep, lasting relationships. The emotional distance that grows from a life lived in constant spotlight can be hard to bridge. There are also the rumors and whispers about Cher's personal life that hint at this loneliness. Some insiders suggest that despite her larger-than-life persona, Cher has experienced long periods of solitude, sometimes by choice, sometimes because of the circumstances. In Hollywood, where image matters more than anything, admitting to loneliness can feel like a vulnerability too risky to share publicly. This sense of isolation is intensified by the natural changes that come with age. As people grow older, social circles often shrink, health issues limit activities, and the pace of life slows. For a star like Cher, who's used to commanding attention, this shift can feel especially stark. The loneliness is not just emotional, but can also be physical. Reports indicate that Cher has spent much of her time recently in quieter, more private settings, far from the crowded concert halls and film sets that once defined her days. This retreat from the public stage is natural, but it also highlights the solitude that can come with aging in the entertainment world. Yet, despite this isolation, Cher's story isn't just one of sadness. There's strength in her ability to face this loneliness head-on. She has spoken about finding comfort in her passions, music, performing, and connecting with fans. These outlets have helped her cope, offering moments of joy and purpose amid quieter times. Still, it's impossible to ignore the emotional cost. The loneliness adds a layer of complexity to a life that many see as enviable. It's a reminder that fame, no matter how dazzling, doesn't shield anyone from the fundamental human need for connection and companionship. Next, we'll dive into the financial and legal whispers that have surfaced recently, rumblings that clash sharply with Cher's glamorous image and hint at new struggles behind the scenes. Cher's career has been filled with millions of fans, sold-out tours, and countless awards. But even with such an incredible legacy, recent years have seen whispers of financial and legal challenges casting a shadow over her dazzling image. It's a reminder that no matter how legendary the star, money troubles and legal battles can creep in and complicate the picture. Over the past few years, rumors have surfaced about disputes involving Cher's finances. While details remain scarce and often veiled in legal discretion, insiders have hinted at disagreements involving her business dealings and management. These disputes aren't uncommon for celebrities with vast portfolios and decades of work, but they add a layer of stress that the public rarely sees. Managing wealth in the entertainment industry is a complex game. For someone like Cher, whose career spans music, film, and touring, it involves navigating contracts, royalties, and investments that can become tangled over time. When conflict arises, it can quickly spiral into costly legal battles, forcing even the most successful stars to confront difficult realities. Beyond the numbers, financial stress can deeply affect personal life and mental well-being. The pressure to protect a hard-earned legacy while facing legal challenges is no small burden. For Cher, who has always been fiercely independent and hands-on with her career, these conflicts may feel especially frustrating. There have also been reports about disputes involving property and intellectual rights, areas where many celebrities often find themselves locked in prolonged negotiations. The details are often confidential, but the rumors alone show that Cher's life today isn't just about music and performances. It's also about fighting to maintain control over her work and assets. These legal entanglements contrast sharply with the public's perception of Cher as the untouchable goddess of pop. They reveal the messy, complicated side of celebrity life that fans don't always get to see. Fame doesn't guarantee immunity from lawsuits or money troubles. It often attracts them. But it's important to understand that these challenges don't mean Cher is on the brink of collapse. Instead, they highlight how even the biggest stars face battles behind the scenes. Her determination to keep fighting, whether in court or in life, speaks to her resilience. This isn't just a story about money or legal drama. It's about the broader struggle of maintaining power and control in an industry that's constantly shifting. For Cher, it's one more test of endurance in a career defined by reinvention and survival. And while these troubles might surprise some fans, they also make her story more real, more human. It's a reminder that beneath the sparkle and sequins, there's a woman navigating challenges that many of us can relate to, even if on a different scale. Next, we'll look into Cher's emotional and mental battles, an often hidden side of her life that sheds light on the person behind the superstar image. Behind Cher's fearless public persona lies a quieter, more vulnerable reality, one shaped by emotional struggles that she has faced throughout her life. While the world sees her as a symbol of strength and confidence, Cher's own journey has included battles with mental health that few outside her closest circle fully understand. Cher has been surprisingly open at times about her experiences with depression and emotional pain, though she often uses careful, indirect language to keep her story respectful and private. It's clear that the pressure of maintaining her larger-than-life image has taken a toll on her mental well-being over the years. For decades, Cher's life has been a balancing act between the intense demands of fame and the need for personal healing. In interviews, she's hinted at dark periods that weighed heavily on her, revealing the hidden cost of a career spent in the spotlight. The same drive that made her a superstar sometimes deepened her inner struggles, making it hard to find peace amid the chaos. The emotional battles are compounded by the losses she's endured, friends, family, and loved ones who have left lasting voids. Cher has experienced grief that's not easily spoken about, with some reports suggesting she's faced profound moments of sadness that could be difficult to overcome. Yet, instead of collapsing under the weight, she has often channeled that pain into her art and performances, turning vulnerability into strength. One of the most challenging aspects of her mental health journey is the loneliness that often accompanies it. It's one thing to be famous. It's another to feel truly understood or supported. Cher's mental health struggles highlight the human side of celebrity who's often seen as invincible, but who, like many, battles with feelings of isolation and emotional pain. Her openness, even when limited, has helped raise awareness about mental health issues, especially for older adults and those in the public eye. By sharing pieces of her story, Cher has broken down stigmas and reminded fans that no one is immune to these struggles, no matter how powerful they seem. At the same time, she continues to protect her privacy fiercely, aware that the internet and media can twist personal struggles into sensational headlines. This careful balance between honesty and discretion is a testament to her strength and wisdom. Cher's mental and emotional battles are a critical part of understanding her life today. They show us a woman who is resilient but real, someone who has faced pain head-on while continuing to inspire millions. It's a reminder that behind every star is a person navigating complex feelings, often out of public view. Next, we'll explore the stark contrast between Cher's public image and the private reality she lives, a gap that reveals much about fame, identity, and what it really means to be a legend growing older. Cher's public image has always been larger than life, a dazzling blend of glamour, boldness, and fierce independence. For decades, she has been a symbol of empowerment and resilience, someone who seemed to defy aging and cultural expectations at every turn. But beneath the sequins and spotlight, the private reality tells a more nuanced story, one of complexity, struggle, and moment of profound vulnerability. The contrast between how Cher is seen and what she experiences in private has never been more apparent than it is today. Publicly, she remains an icon, still performing, still making headlines, and still commanding attention with her unmistakable presence. Fans celebrate her timeless style and her ability to reinvent herself again and again. Yet behind closed doors, her life involves challenges that often don't make the news. This gap between public persona and private life is common for many celebrities, but with Cher, it feels especially poignant. She built her career on breaking molds and pushing boundaries, which created a persona that many assumed was invincible. However, that persona is just one side of her story. The pressures of maintaining this image can be exhausting. There's a constant need to project strength and confidence, even on days when she might feel vulnerable or weary. The expectation to always perform emotionally, socially, and professionally mean that Cher, like many stars, must wear a mask that protects her but can also isolate her. This duality isn't just about fame, it's about identity. How do you reconcile the woman behind the legend with the legend that the world demands? For Cher, this balancing act has been ongoing for decades. shaped by the highs of applause and the lows of solitude. Social media and modern celebrity culture have only heightened this divide. While fans feel closer than ever through online platforms, the curated nature of these interactions can deepen feelings of isolation. Fans see snapshots of perfection, but not the messy, complicated truth. Cher's personal life, her struggles with health, loneliness, and emotional pain, remains guarded, creating an invisible barrier between her and the public. Yet, this contrast also reveals something powerful: Cher's humanity. Despite her fame and fortune, she experiences many of the same fears, doubts, and challenges that anyone faces. The difference is that hers unfold on a global stage, magnifying every moment. Understanding this gap helps us see Cher not just as an untouchable superstar, but as a person, a woman nearing 80, navigating aging, loss, and change while still striving to find meaning and connection. This complex reality makes her story all the more compelling. It's a reminder that behind every icon is a human being whose life is filled with contradictions, resilience, and hope. Cher's journey is a story that goes far beyond the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. As she approaches 80, her life now reveals layers of complexity, struggle, and resilience that many might not expect from someone who has seemed so untouchable for decades. This isn't just a tale of a legendary entertainer. It's a deeply human story about aging, loneliness, and the challenge of maintaining identity amid constant change. What makes Cher's story so compelling is the contrast between her public persona, the fearless, dazzling goddess of pop, and the private reality she faces. It reminds us that fame doesn't erase pain or hardship. Instead, it often intensifies them, creating pressures few can truly understand. Her health struggles, emotional battles, and moments of isolation show us that no amount of success or wealth can shield anyone from life's challenges. Yet, within this, there's a powerful message of resilience. Cher has faced every setback with determination, reinventing herself time and again. That drive to keep moving forward, even when the odds feel stacked, is what sets her apart. It's a testament to human strength and the will to survive and even thrive when life gets complicated. Her story also shines a light on the often unseen realities of aging, especially for women in the public eye. Cher's experience exposes the double standards and harsh judgments that come with growing older in an industry obsessed with youth. But rather than fading quietly, she continues to assert her presence, challenging those stereotypes and inspiring others to do the same. For fans and observers alike, Cher's life encourages empathy and a deeper understanding of the people behind the celebrity masks. It asks us to look beyond the headlines, rumors, and flashy performances to see the person underneath, the struggles, the triumphs, and humanity that connects us all. In a world where we often consume fame as entertainment, Cher's story reminds us that celebrities are people first. Their lives are complex, filled with highs and lows, and deserving of compassion. It's a reminder that no matter how bright the spotlight, everyone faces shadows. So, while Cher's life today may have its share of sadness and challenges, it's also rich with meaning, strength, and ongoing creativity. Her story isn't just about what she's lost or struggled with. It's about what she continues to fight for: dignity, relevance, and connection. And that's why Cher's story matters. Not just as a celebrity biography, but as a human story that resonates with anyone who's ever faced change, loss, or the search for meaning in difficult times. Thanks for watching and sticking with me through Cher's incredible, complex story. If you found this video eye-opening or thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more deep dives like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. See you in the next one.